Hello there, everyone. Baboons and barracudas, biscuits and beavers. It is I, Seahorse Tiger, Captain of the Lonely, Troubadour of the Lost, and of course, Master of the Wiggle Machine. Today, I want to talk about masks. I want to tell you about a little game to play that will change your life in a heartbeat without changing anything about what you think. It is this, the next time, and then every time you come across a fellow human being, I want you to ask yourself, what mask are they wearing? And the way you'll know the answer to that question is it will have already been the thought you had prior to it. It will have been the first thing you thought when you saw them. Already, in what you've told yourself about the superficiality of the person, you will have answered the question, what mask are they wearing? To you, that is the mask they are wearing. It doesn't matter, since this person isn't you, what they actually think themselves about the mask they're wearing. That's a game for a different day. For today's game, what mask do you see upon them? And then, and this is the fun part of the game, can you look past the mask? Can you ask yourself who's behind it? Not to answer the question intellectually, conceptually, like, oh, I know who's behind the mask. Just look at them. See them. And acknowledge that everything you're seeing that has a name is a mask. Old, young, man, woman, white, black, etc. Those are all masks that you're projecting onto them. Look through past that mask. See who's behind it. So you see someone, you think, what's their mask? You think, oh, what did I first think when I saw them? Oh, that's their mask. How do I imagine? What's behind it? Just imagine everything you feel and think. The best guess about the depth of what's inside them is your own depth. To experience their life and being, you put in their place in your imagination the extent of your own, the depth of your sorrows, the height of your triumphs, and everything and every nuance in between. Every hope and expectation, every pain and failure is also in them. Everything you feel about being alive is in them. See that in them through the mask that you've projected upon them. Like that. Just do it. There, 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 there. I was out for an evening walk tonight. There was a woman at the door. Somebody was at her door. Friends, so I saw his back. She was standing there. I couldn't tell. It was at a casserole, those envelopes. And I looked up and we made eye contact. And because of her gray hair and some other aspects of her physical being, I thought, oh, older person. In truth, I don't know if she's older than me or not. We might be the same age. She might be younger. She might be older. But what I saw when I looked through the mask, when our eyes met, was the glint. The twinkle in the eye. The twinkle in the eye that is the thing that is just alive. It was alive at birth. It will be alive till the very last moment of life. And it is singular. It is the same inside. All the mask might change. We change our definitions and shapes in ourselves and in the world. But that glint, that twinkle is the same one. See it in someone else. That's the game to play. So that's the mask game. And if you want to play your own mask game, the thing to do is to take off your mask. What does that mean? What does it mean to take off your mask? Oh, what's the mask in the first place? A persona, a personality, is a mask. It's the Greek word. What the actors used to put on. A persona. We know that. This persona. Oh, we know what that is. Fellas. It's this one. Oh, we know what that is. Right? There's shapes through which sound vibrates. And the shapes through which those sounds vibrate create a projection that we feel. We feel it in commonality. That's a universal face. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter what color you are. It doesn't matter what gender you are. It doesn't matter your nationality, your ethnicity, anything about anything you think of as your definitions. That's universal. Most masks are. Sure, each culture, each society will take it and give it its own name and its own feathers and call it its own thing. But there are these archetypical masks that we all wear. That's how we come to be in the world. We try them on. We try on mom. We try on dad. We try on brother. We try on sister. Try on dog. We try on kindergarten teacher. We try on friends. We try on enemies. We try on sports, academics, interests, the world. We try on these different masks, and slowly we settle into what people say is, you found yourself. You settled into yourself. And what that usually means is you've stopped taking off your mask. You've settled on one, but it wasn't a mask you put on. In your mind, it's one you've kind of created, or you shed all the fake ones and this is the real one, but it's pretty much you all the time. That's the mask you need to take off if you want to be free. You don't have to want to be free. But if you are wearing a set of definitions on a regular basis and projecting your being through it, you're wearing a mask. Trust me, if you're wearing the same hat, you're definitely wearing a mask. So in order to take off your mask, release your persona, so you can be, and therefore adapt and change like a shell, like a crab outside of its shell, being able to grow a little until it finds a new one. It doesn't mean walk around naked all the time, always open and vulnerable to anything. Wear your masks appropriately, choose them, know them, switch them out, and give yourself time every single day to take off the mask. That means you have to be alone. there's anyone else around, you will put on a mask. You have to be alone. And in your aloneness, you have to feel vibrations that aren't just the definitions of your mask that are reverberating from the familiarity of wearing it all the time. In order to feel those vibrations within yourself, the way you do it is you feel the ones outside yourself. If you're only feeling yourself, you'll feel the same cyclical vibrations, habits, patterns, addictions, predilections. In order to let those settle out and be sort of shaken loose and reconfigured, you let in the bigger ones. Where do the bigger ones come from? From the giant vibrating object upon which you stand, the earth. Yes, you can feel vibrations through the air, obviously sound. Yes, those are amazing. Yes, there are light particles, there are a kind of wave vibration thing coming. But for your structure, for your physical body, the most dominant, forceful source of vibration is the earth. This large, projectile mass that is hurtling through the universe in a DNA helix spiral, essentially. I don't know if that's exact, but we know the Earth is spinning, and we know it's rotating around the sun, and we know the whole solar system, galaxy, all of space is expanding, moving, so as the sun goes, we're going, which means the Earth is corkscrewing through space. The Earth is never in the same place as it was a second ago. We are in a new place in the universe at all times, even though there are relational objects in the stars that remain similar. They don't remain the same. They change over time because we're all moving. It means that the whole thing is moving. Everything that we think of conceptually as the universe in terms of the stars and the outer reaches of what we can see to is also corkscrewing through who knows what. Pudding? I hope so. So that thing is full of movement. The universe is full of vibrations that create all reality. Those extend beyond where we can perceive. These, let's call them larger, not because they're bigger, but because we're imagining them outside our sphere of conception. Those bigger vibrations can be felt through a point called the earth because it's big enough to go with them a little bit. They're so big, we're just in them. We're like a tiny speck on the surface. We're not feeling it. We think we're just in one place. That's how big those waves are. The earth's a little bigger. It feels them a little differently. So we can feel them through the earth, as well as through the earth, feeling all the other creatures, as if some sort of mycelium-type fabric connected all the earth. So where a plant hits the mycelium hits a rock, the rock hits magma hits who knows what in the core exactly, which out to the other magma, into the rock, into the mycelium, into the tree, into the monkey that's right there, who screeches and howls, and that vibration comes to me as well, along with everything else. So no, I'm not just hearing the monkey. It's not just me and a monkey on the other side of the world doing this. It's me and the monkey on the other side of the world doing this, and me and you and everything else doing it simultaneously with everything else. That's a lot of motion going on. That's a lot of vibration. It can feel overwhelming, which is why we wear a what mask? We put a persona on to guard against what can feel like the onslaught of vibration. Because with a mask, we have a rigidity. We have a fixed position. I am this. I will translate all vibrations that come through me, through this persona, and turn them into that. Regardless of the nature of those vibrations, I will produce only one kind, the kind of this mask. It's how we maintain our social structures. This is who I am in the marriage. This is who I am as a father. This is who I am at work. This is who I am with my old high school friends. This is how I am with a cat. This is how I am in a midlife crisis. This is how I am, blah, blah, blah. It just goes on and on and on. This is how I am as a man. This is how I am as a woman. We have thousands upon thousands of these that we're doing that form our sort of quintessential persona mask that we think of as us, that we hang on to so tightly. That gives us rigidity so that when those larger vibrations of the earth and the everything come to us, we're not moved by them. We don't accept them and integrate them into our system. We block them out except for the parts that fit what we're vibrating. I only want to hear exactly what I am already doing. That's the danger of always wearing the same mask, never taking it off, let alone taking it off every day. So in order to let your own vibrations dissipate, you can connect into the larger vibrations of the earth, which in turn is able to feel the larger vibrations from beyond our conception circle, as well as every other thing that's here. What does that mean? Well, if you want to think of it in terms of a wish or prayer or intention or action or will and all this sort of language that has schools of thought and needs within self and a natural predilection towards cults, if you want to use that language without getting caught in all the dangerous spin cycles of it, stuck in little cultures and worlds that demand obedience, just like the institutions and dogmas of religion do, these are equal, not great. If you want to be free of that, then you're going to need to feel and hear and integrate all the sounds from everywhere else. Which means, if we're using the language of wishes and prayers and wants and intentions and actions and wills, what happens is you simply, through quietness, stillness of your own, so your own vibration is calm, and then you send out your vibrational wish. And if you're hooked up and integrated, you just sent it to everything. You sent it to the butterfly, you sent it to the wind, you sent it to the tree, you sent it to last night's burrito, you sent it to your children, your coworkers, you sent it to the skies, the heavens. It will reverberate into all those things because the world is a place of harmony, the illusion of the life-death cycle, life-death is not an illusion, the illusion of the life-death cycle is that something's broken, that something's wrong, that something needs to be fixed, that someone needs to be blamed. It's death that makes us think that, but no, everything's going great. Life and death is great. There's no problem. Life and death is just as it should be. So it's entirely possible that the whole universe, and I do mean the whole universe, you and everybody else included, is in total harmony, is totally down to get with it, and all have everything fulfilled. That is not against the natural order. That is not against the universe. That's not against any actual God. That is the way things are. Yeah. So you send it out. They feel it. They incorporate it a little bit along with other people's and their own. And it all flows and vibrates. So then one day, a year from now, when you wake up, you're like, oh, there's that thing. Oh, yeah, this is the world I imagined. That's what's happening. And now to course correct before you take some of the wrong turns that this guy took in terms of laziness or seeing discipline as some sort of antichrist. I still don't like it. Well, then I would suggest thinking about this possibility, that when you do send out those kind of vibrations into the world, you're also sending them out into yourself, meaning your teeth, your fingertips, your fingernails, your heart, your lungs, your brain cells, your heart cells, your muscle cells. So allow those to react to your wish and intention. If your wish and intention is to be fit, no, it's not true that you won't have to do anything, except it is true if you accept that integrating harmoniously with the universe is so complete that when you send out the wish, all of the parts of you have heard it and they'll start doing it. So yes, you'll be going to the gym if you want to get fit, or some equivalent. Yes, but it won't be work or effort in the way of struggle or anxiety or resistance, because you are doing it before you even try to do it. The instruction has been given at the cellular atomic void level. Even the silence within you is like, got it, we're getting fit. So when the alarm goes off, everything's like, yep, that's what we're doing. We've always been doing this, as far as we all know. That's how things can go like this, even though absolutely there's sweat and heart and tears and joys and all that along the way. You're still present in the energetic disposition of it all. It's just fluid and harmonious. So, you want to take off your mask, you want to find time to get ready to wiggle out your own vibrations so you can let in the bigger vibrations from beyond what we can see and from everything else, because that's how to be in alignment if there's things you want in the world, let alone for the health of the overall system. I suggest then, when you're doing this alone with the mask off for these vibrations trying to get from the earth, nice place to be is on the earth. But hey, you know what? Structures on the earth also feel the earth. If you're on a floor, hey, great, whatever. Sometimes they'll get out on the earth, alone, on the earth, with no one around. Figure it out. I don't know. Find a way. And then I suggest using your knees. That's it. No big deal. It's not a prayer. It's not a thing. It's not even a downward dog or a cat cow or what am I talking about? Oh my God. It's not a position. It's not a series. It's not a strict adherence this time of day. It's not you should do it in this building at these pews and say these words. Just get on your knees. That's it. Zero more. In fact, anything more you do on top of that is one more mask that is going to block your ability to actually feel the vibrations. So don't do it. Just kneel. That's it. What do I pray? Do I cry? Do I have a quiet conversation with God? Well, if you feel like it. If you feel like having a fart, have a fart. It doesn't matter. It literally does not matter. What matters is that you get on your knees. You've shortened your usual distance to the earth. You've increased your surface area of contact with the earth. If you're on your knees, probably you're also on your feet. The front of your feet are now on the ground. I'm not saying just behind your knees with your feet pulled up. That's just called a faceplant. So there's more of your leg, foot on the ground. Your foot's still on, your shin's on, your knees on. Maybe your forehead's on, who knows? Maybe you lean back. Maybe you're wide-legged, who knows? Maybe your butt's a little and your knees. Point is, there's more of you touching the ground. So compared to your usual walkings around in the day, you're going to more fully receive the signals and vibrations that you've set aside time to receive. Again, what do you do when you get there? Do I breathe? Do I do a mantra? Do I do a meditation? If that's what you need to do to be there, then please do it. If not doing those things means you don't end up there, then they're good exercises. They are not the thing. In fact, the more you believe you need to adhere to them or that they are the thing, the more they will inhibit the actual ability for the world, universe, God to speak to you through vibrations, which is how it speaks. So that's the way to listen. If you want to hear or be heard, this is also a great time, and especially with no people around to negotiate with or to please or worry about, to contemplate, if you are going to do something, contemplate your deeper truths. Not necessarily your deeper wishes. Maybe you'll get to those. Maybe you'll get to your prayers for sure. Maybe you'll even go through your admonishments of self, your guilts and shames and sins. All those things are sides of the same coin, a positive and shadow side of the same coin. So yeah, go ahead and do both. The coin, the centerpiece you're trying to get in touch with, in so doing, is just what you call the truth. As you descend or ascend into the truth, you will feel different ways. If you ascend into the truth of, whoa, that action I took was selfish and I hurt someone needlessly, depending on the severity of that hurt and action, you will feel really bad. If you go out the other way, I wish for lightness in all those I love. May everyone's day of the people I love in my life be just one click brighter than it's ever been before. Oh, I feel good, right? That's joyful feeling, all right? That's a truth. Those are both truths. And in saying them, experiencing them, yeah, I get a high or low. But the deeper thing is the truth. Why? Why did I take that action? Why do I want light for those I love? The truth is not the answer to the question, why? Or what? Or how? Or who? Or whatever great question you're asking about this truth you're seeking. The truth is not the answer. The truth is the continual series of questions. It is a shape in the universe. It is a dynamic, not stopping corkscrew, double helix type structural deal, doing this as reality comes here. The truth is an action. The action of never stopping the search for the truth, of never settling on, got it. That's the truth. The truth action is keeping it just as fluid as the reality that's flowing to us, past us, around us. And we're keeping our truth just as fluid. By, how do we do it? By asking these questions. There's more questions to ask in a fluid world. Why do I think that? In answering that question, I'll come to know myself better. What importance does my identity have to me? The truth stays fluid. Why are those things important? That stays fluid. You keep asking. If I were other, if I were taller, shorter, younger, older, any of the things, what would that variation mean to me? Not because that's the truth, but to continue the questioning. So just when you think you've got it down on you, okay, this is why I think I am who I am, and this is what it's about. Okay, great. What if that's not true? What if you were this thing over there? Keep the truth fluid. Keep the truth flowing. That's freedom. That's liberation. That's the do, if you're looking to do it. And the way to it, if you're going to do it, is to be on your knees. Anyone else around? Ideally on some Mother Earth. Hey, once a day. That's it. That's the answer to everything. Doesn't mean there shouldn't and couldn't and can't and won't be millions upon billions of dissertations and speeches and talks and variations of definitions about what it is. I'm not saying this is the truth, stop. I'm just saying that's it. The rest is a play. I'm playing this role. I'm playing this mask. I'm playing this religion. I'm playing this ethnicity. Great. Play away. Play, play, play. We're here to play. Life is a game. For your own sake and for the community's sake and for the world's sake, take off your mask once a day. Just take the whole thing off, all of them. Go maskless, alone on your knees, on the ground ideally, once a day. And in that, seek truth. Your whole life will change. Your whole life will change. Again, will there be effort? Will there be choices? Will there be decisions? Yeah. Will there be wrong decisions and right decisions? You'll probably see it that way. Does that mean there'll be mistakes as well as, yeah. Does it mean everything's going to be perfect and fine without any bad feelings? Nope. Because bad feelings are the shadow of whatever good thing you're feeling. You feel something good. You have a good experience, a joy, a positive, anything we would talk about in that realm. You have it. You bring it into reality. The moment you bring it into reality, it creates a relief, a shape in reality that casts a shadow. That's not wrong. That's just the way of it. Once things become real, they have an opposite, a shadow, a downside, a negative, whatever weird thing you want to call it. I say weird thing because we have a tendency to put all sorts of judgments on those, the things that we think of in terms of the shadow side or the opposite side. Most everybody's building worlds trying to pretend that they can be kept at bay, wearing masks to keep them at bay. I'm not that. I'm in the light. Well, that's impossible. Because if you're in the light, what's behind you is a shadow. The more sure you are that you're in the light and you're positive, the bigger the psychic shadow you're creating. Again, great. Have fun with that play. Understand, though, that's the size and scope of the shadow opposite you're creating that you will experience. You're in charge. You're the creator. The divine is in you. This is what we're talking about. You're creating all this, so you're going to experience it. The grander wave of the cosmos that creates the material form is a full cycle of life and death. So in order to create, which it is doing constantly, it has to decreate. God creates from the decreations. That's all the clay there is. So at some point, you will be decreated. Or someone close to you will be decreated. Or some relationship you're in will be decreated. And yes, on the scale of things. Some you have more volition over than others. So too, the light-dark isn't just about the material happenings. It's about your inner life inside those material happenings. How you experience these events. And then maybe the bolder step is to wiggle out the illusion. I was enacting, and I use that word enacting as opposed to acting, which has a judgment of pretense or pretend. You're enacting, which we're always doing because we're in a play. So you were enacting a belief system about what you thought you were in. I was playing this role. Upon losing the role, you might discover like, oh, yeah, I don't need to be that. Great, when I was in it, I was fully invested, but now that that role is gone, yeah, I don't have to mourn the loss of the role or try to still be the role even though I'm not in it. I'm totally okay with an entirely new role. That is a completely acceptable, sometimes wonderful approach to your own problems. And that can be found in that incubation space of ground, knees, quiet, truth searching. You'll drop into either what needs to come up and come out, or you'll drop what's inhibiting what wants to come up and come out. You'll drop more masks. If you do this every day, and in the everyday you do those kind of exercises, the things you carry, the postures, configurations, ideas, definitions, mask you have of yourself will become more fluid. In becoming more fluid, it will adapt and grow more easily. It will take on a more nuanced and true approximation of the contact plane between you and it all. That is an impression. You, whatever being, spirit thing you are inside, is a three-dimensional object in both literal space and emotional, psychic, spiritual space. And that plane of contact, which is your body in the material world and who knows what in all the other ways, is creating an impression. You can become trapped if you try to constantly, like, this is what it is, trying to be aware of what it is, even though all time and space is moving and I'm moving, I'm being aware of it like it's a static thing. If you're doing that, you're blocking it and you're not growing as much. If you're fluid with it and see it that way, then the world can be shaping you fully. All those wishes and prayers and things that you sent out are now coming back to you. They didn't need messengers. They didn't need begging or negotiations or threats or manipulations or bullyings or anything like that. They were just sent out through every cell in your body and every bit of air and earth and wind and fire and organic material and inorganic material in the stratosphere around you. And that reverberated out to the depth which you constantly and purely reverberated it, which if you've been doing your truth searching, you'll be able to access a pure form of like, this is what I'm reverberating out. These are my wants and hopes and wishes. They're just coming out into the world. And over time, they're transforming the world I live into until those things are one and the same. Me wishing and the world creating the wish. Start doing this. And they're doing this because I'm staying fluid. I'm not stuck in my mask. I'm not stuck in my mask because I've been taking it off on a daily basis. This is the cycle that is the double helix spinning through the universe that is the shape of both atoms, the universe, galaxy, everything inside of you, and the whole dang thing. So you want to be simpatico in motion and shape with the whole dang thing. If your architecture and the architecture of it all are paralleling, and you're allowing that energetic psychic fusion to take place on all your channels, it's magical, it's divine, it's enlightened, it's whatever silly, stupid word you want to call it. And I don't say stupid or silly to put them down. Stupid and silly are important because serious and smart are masks that are ego that we want to wear. Few people want to wear the stupid and silly mask. Even when they act stupid and silly, they're usually doing it out of a mask of tribal pride. This is how we act stupid here. It's really about enacting a place in the culture. To be truly silly, to be truly, truly, truly stupid, masklessly so, is a rare thing. So usually when we're doing the mask, it's smart and serious that we're enacting. So it's important to take those off with stupid and silly. And stupid and silly words like enlightenment and divine and it are rough approximations of what that thing is when you're in it. But of course you can't have a word for it. That's the whole point. That would be a mask, a definition, a thing to pursue, a graph to watch. Am I doing it? Am I not doing it? How are other people doing? What is it? Something else to be stuck in. This is not stuck. So that's a way to go about getting in touch with it. That's a way to go about keeping yourself open. That's a way to go about unblocking some things. That's a way to go about deconditioning some things. That's a way to go about manifesting some things. Quiet. Hello. Ground. Knees. Truth. Yeah. In a constant, open, inquisitive, curious, alive searching of the truth. When that's your essence, and that essence is taking shape and space in all of this, you will be your purest self, your most fluid self, therefore your most at peace self. Because it's doing this. So where does this, you, and this, it all, end and begin? It's doing this everywhere. So how could you possibly say, my life is this big? By the way, everything I'm sending out is hitting everything. So my life is everything. So my life is just one tiny thing. because there's no division. My life is infinitely small and infinitely infinite at the same time. That's how big it is. Regardless of whatever happens in all the other categorizations and accountings we create in our cultures. So, there's that, too. Yes, so that's about taking off the mask, and let's dance.